is Dr. David Trumbore from Elite Personal Training and Fitness Solutions in Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. And today I'm going to talk to you about why you should choose Elite Personal Training, our office, as your personal trainer. Before we get started, I just want to give you a little bit of background about myself. I graduated from Temple University in Philadelphia in 1983 with my degree in physical therapy, and then earned my doctoral degree in physical therapy from Widener University in 2005. I also have some very important and high-end certifications. I am a certified strength and conditioning instructor, I am a certified weight trainer, and I am a certified Pilates instructor. So for the last 37 years, I've spent time rehabilitating and treating patients and training fitness clients. Additionally, I've gained an expertise in the science of weight loss and weight management, and I have created and taught a course called Why You're Not Losing Weight. So let's get started about why you would choose our office as your personal trainer. I mean, there's other options. And this is really the third and last part of a three-part series. The first video I want to encourage you to watch is why you should exercise. The second one would be why you would select to work with a personal trainer. And this one is why you would choose us. So I used an analogy about a personal trainer is like a tutor in a previous video, and this one I also want to use another analogy that I think is powerful and poignant. And that is, choosing a personal trainer is like choosing a cut of beef. You can go to McDonald's and get a hamburger. You can go to Outback and get a nice ribeye steak. Or you can go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse and get the finest filet mignon that will melt in your mouth and has been marinated and aged for 45 days. Okay? They're all cuts of beef, but you're going to have a different experience going from one to the other, and typically you'll get what you pay for. So let me expand and elaborate on this analogy so you understand what I mean. To start with, personal training is not regulated. Okay? There's no regulation for personal training. There's no licensing. There's no state boards. It's like hiring a babysitter. You can just call your neighbor next door and get Sarah, who might be a teenager, to come over and watch your kids. You might call someone who's had some child education classes and has a little bit more background, maybe certified in CPR. You could hire a professional nanny who has a lot of experience. It might cost you differently and you'll have different levels of babysitting, but there is no laws or regulation. If you want, you can call me up and ask me to babysit your kids, and I can come and do that. As a physical therapist, it's not like that. I have to go to school, I have to pass school, I have to take a state exam and pass that, and then have continuing education units. So personal training is completely unregulated. So let's think of the different options you have. The first option isn't even on the spectrum of beef. It's not even McDonald's. It's someone who has no credentials, no training, no background. They just say, I'm a personal trainer, and you can hire them. Okay? This is typically a young guy or a young girl who is really built really well, and the consumer wrongly thinks that because they're built well, that they understand exercise science and the prescription of exercise. Like most people, when I graduated from high school, in our yearbook we had all these things: the best looking couple, the most likely to succeed, etc. One of the things was the best built guy and the best built girl. Well, the guy who won the best built guy in the yearbook nomination was a guy by the name of Dan, and he definitely should have won. He was built like Hercules. But the interesting thing was, Dan was a stoner. He drank, he smoked cigarettes, he smoked weed, took drugs, didn't play sports, didn't exercise. He just had freakish genetics. Now, I'm convinced that Dan could have started an effective personal training business because you would have looked at him and you would wrongly assume this guy must know about exercise or he wouldn't look like that. That's just not true, though. He just had freakish genetics. So one option is to just hire the guy who's jacked up or the girl who's hot, assuming that they know what they're doing, and pay for their services. But they're not even on the spectrum of beef. They don't even have any credentials. You can go to McDonald's. That would be like going to the local gym where they have personal training packages that usually are fairly inexpensive. You buy a block of a dozen for a certain amount of money. And this person is someone who probably got 4 or 6 weeks training when they went to the local gym. And they learned a little bit about exercise. They learned how to put people on the machines. And in the fitness industry, we call them clipboards, because they walk around with a clipboard and they say, Susie, how are you doing today? You look good. We're going to go over to the lat machine. We're going to set this up with 40 pounds. You're going to do 2 sets of 10. Good. All right, now we're going to go do bench presses next. Last time you used 30 pounds. We're going to try 40 pounds today. They set you up in the machine. Good. They walk you around for your exercises, and then you go home. But they have no understanding of exercise prescription and exercise science, and they basically there to babysit you, make sure you're on the machine properly. You can go to Outback and get a really good ribeye steak. They have good ribeye steaks. It's a good experience. You get decent service, and it's a decent price. And this would be a personal trainer who has some sort of certification. They've passed and have some sort of credentials, and there's a broad range here. Some of them are fairly short and easy programs. Some of them are more significant and more comprehensive. And this is someone who has studied some anatomy. They've learned about exercise science. They learn how the body works. They learn the effect of exercise. And they are able to work with you at a much higher level to prescribe and work an individual program for you. The difficulty of why this is kind of middle of the road and not excellent is they learn from a textbook on how to exercise and what the response is, but clients don't come in and look like the textbook at all. When someone comes in and says, I can't raise my arm up because it hurts, they don't understand that that's a supraspinatus tendonitis, and that's going to affect how they prescribe. If someone comes in and is taking a beta blocker because they have hypertension, if someone had back surgery, if someone has a low resting heart rate, if someone has back pain, if someone has arthritis of the knees, if someone has, and the list goes on and on. Clients come in and that's how it is. They don't understand the background of how to evaluate that and how to modify that and how to deal with that. These trainers typically work best with young, healthy males and females in their 20s who are athletic and strong and want to progress, because people come in like that and don't have a lot of issues. But once you start having insulin resistance and back pain, or every time you squat your knees hurt, this is where this is middle of the road, decent but not great. You can go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse, and if you're not from this area and you're watching this video, Ruth Chris Steakhouse has the finest steaks in our area. They are exquisite, they melt in your mouth, they're marinated for 45 days. It's the highest end steak meal that you can get. I say this humbly but truthfully. At Elite Personal Training and Fitness Solutions, we are that Ruth Chris. We are the highest end personal training service that you can have. And the reason is, I can combine, when I evaluate you, my knowledge of medicine, pharmacology, physical therapy, injury treatment and prevention, supplementation, musculoskeletal evaluation, orthopedic evaluation, cardiovascular evaluation, fitness evaluation, put that whole package together and then prescribe, progress, and monitor your program in a way that is individual and effective for you and expert level. A level that these services are not offered. You can't find this package anywhere else. And our prices for Ruth Chris meal aren't much different than the ribeye steak. If you watch these video series, you understand that the most significant thing you can do to impact your health is to begin to exercise. But exercise is a difficult topic. What do you do? How do you address all those variables? That's why you work with a personal trainer who can prescribe that for you. And we provide the most excellent, highest end services that can address your nutritional needs, injuries, pathologies, and assess all of the goals that you have, which ones are realistic, which ones are not, which ones are sustainable, which ones are attainable, and then prescribe, monitor, and progress your program. So I want to encourage you, go to our website, check us out, call for a free consultation. We will set up an evaluation where we can discuss what your goals are, how we can help you, and from there we set up an evaluation and then can prescribe a program and work with you to help you achieve the goals that you have. And I want you to remember, if you won't invest time, energy, and money in your health, you'll soon need to invest more time and energy and money in your illness.